Peter Crouch unveils Stoke contract with wage-slashing relegation clause. Ex-Stoke City and Liverpool ace Peter Crouch revealed the relegation clause that saw players' salaries reduced by an enormous 45%. The former England international had to swallow the bitter pill of relegation in the 2017-18 Premier League campaign when the Potters' 10-year stay in the top flight came to an end. Their relegation arguably came as a huge shock, as Stoke had recorded ninth-placed finishes in 3 of their previous 5 seasons. Unfortunately for Stoke, the famous red and white has not been seen in the top flight since, as the Potters have become another former Premier League club to get stuck in the Championship. And Crouch divulged into the significant financial implications this relegation had on the players. The former striker printed out the final contract he signed with the Potters into the most recent episode of his podcast, That Peter Crouch Podcast. The relegation clause officially states, in the event the club is relegated to the EFL during the term of this contract, the player's wage shall be reduced by 45% in respect to each regulation from the 1st of July of each year or such relegation. It's big, isn't it? Crouch replied after the clause was read out. But relegation hurts the city, it hurts everyone. Everyone suffers, but the only people, really, that have made that relegation happen is the players. That is quite a standard clause now. But it's all based around the Premier League being what it is. If you sign as a Premier League player, you will be paid Premier League wages. Do you think a 45% relegation clause is fair? Let us know in the comments. If you get relegated, you go on Championship wages. That unfortunately is the nature of what it is. As painful as the relegation was, it was the 3rd time Crouch had been a part of a side who tumbled out of the top division. Crouch was also relegated from the Premier League when he was a young player at Queen's Park Rangers and at Southampton. But while he did say the relegation clauses were standard, he also admitted that some directors may allow them to stay on their Premier League wages if they agreed to help fire the team back into the Premier League. Yay at that time, but the Peter Crouch at 24 may have been a different story, Crouch added when asked if he accepted the whopping wage decrease. I got relegated with Southampton and I remember speaking to Rupert Lowe when Liverpool came in for me, for instance. I said, well, I want to go to Liverpool, and he said no, but you don't have to take a cut in your wages, you can stay on the wages you are on, and you can get us back up.